Hey everyone, it's Amanda, as you all know from BHawk Live. Welcome to the first show, all women's show, mind you, with none other than Amber, which is this way, and then Miss RC. Hi, girls.
Hello,
How
everybody.
are we? We good? So
Howdy,
first,
howdy.
yeah, let's start out with well, I'll start with Amber first, and then we'll go to me last. Amber, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your
Um,
relationship with the UFL?
I am Amber Pena. I am a season ticket holder for the Houston Roughnecks. I am known as Mrs. Predator. Y'all can see right there. And so I'm pretty fanatical when it comes to football. I enjoy the sport and I want to see more women in it. That's my contribution here.
Love it. Love it. All right. I guess I'll go next. Well, actually, no, let's have Miss RC Woods. Miss RC Woods, tell everyone about yourself.
Sure. My name is RC Woods. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and I've been doing a podcast for football for the last 6 years. Started with the Commanders, then I covered arena football here in San Antonio, and then last year and this year, I've been covering the Brahmas. So I bring a special touch to the podcast. I do a special segment called Mom to Mom or Wife to Wife, where I interview the players' moms or wife. And this way, I let the fans get to know the players through the eyes of a mother or through the eyes of their wife. And so that's my contribution to this podcast. I'm super excited to be on this all female cast. I feel there's a special place for females, for football, for fan interaction, and for community. And I hope we can bring awareness to that a special topic and cause with football and women.
Love it. Okay, so as a lot of you know me from, yes, BHawk Live, I am Daddy Ed's daughter. I have loved football since I was mm, basically born. Uh, and it's been a huge passion of mine. And I'm just excited to have this show with these beautiful women because let's be honest, women do know a little bit about football. Let's just say that. So, first, I want to start with the ladies and I want to ask both of you because we have done a lot in the community, right? With it with our show with the network with Fuel Sports Network. And Amber, I know that just recently you guys raised money for the Houston Area Women's Center. If you could
We
give a little
did.
bit of information about that, that would be great, and about the presentation that you were able to give them.
So the Houston Area Women's Center is a domestic violence shelter for women and children. And we decided that since the Houston Roughnecks were kind of on the chopping block along with the Houston Gamblers for the season as whose team was going to survive in Houston, right? We started a petition and Rod was really good at setting it up. We were pushing it around. And yeah, I kind of threw my selfishness in there and said, you know what, let's hold a charity event. Let's put it in Houston. And since it was for women, by women, it was women led, the venue was owned by a woman, and the donation, we decided we're going to sideline domestic violence. We raised over $2,000 within 6 hours. And we went out there with, I went there with Mr. Predator and with Rick Rocker and was able to present the check, and it was an amazing experience. These women need help desperately. I've gone as far as to clean out my closets. They need, gently used clothing for interviews, any skills that you can help tutor them in. It's a great cause, and you can never go wrong with helping your local community. I figured that would put us over the top, and it got us the Roughnecks.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, RC, I know you have done a lot in the San Antonio tailgates as well with collecting food. Tell us a little bit about that and everything that you all do down there.
Sure. So I promote bringing a can for every tailgate, right? Because we bring abundance of food, snacks. And so I figure if you can bring one can, that would be great. So what I tell the fans here in San Antonio, if you could bring just one can and I collect all the cans and I bring it to the San Antonio Food Bank. And so every tailgate, I have a trunk full of food that I can donate. The other cause that we did last year, and many people who are not from San Antonio may not be aware, but we have this thing that's called Fiesta. It's a 10-day festivities, which is going to start tomorrow. And we have these medals, and they're very valuable to whoever wants to collect them, right? They're really worth more than $10, 15, $20. But I created one last year for the Brahma Mamas. And with that, we sold them, and we were able to raise $500 for the children's shelter. Now, I know there's a lot of shelters out there and here in San Antonio, but this specific one, and you may or may not know this, allows children to come into the facility with diapers. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but there's many shelters here in San Antonio that the child has to be potty trained because all those diapers are an added expense. So this was the one shelter that does allow children who can still be in diapers. So we felt very close to that cause. And so we sold our medals. I think it was for $10 or $20. I can't remember now. It's been a year. But we did raise $500 and we did present that to the children's shelter here in San Antonio off of Woodlawn Lake. So I'm very proud of San Antonio that we always give back to the community.
Now, RC, are you guys doing stuff like that still at your tailgates now? Are you still taking donations at the tailgate?
Yes. Every single tailgate we collected. So our first game that we had, we collected 42 cans. This tailgate that we just had this past weekend, we collected 30 cans. So, it's not as, publicized, but everyone I tell them about it, they're like, oh yeah, I'll bring one for next week. And that's okay. And it doesn't matter if I get 5 cans, 10 cans, 42 cans. The fact that we're able to come together to become unified for a cause, that's really what's most important. And I'm hoping that every game from now on, that I'll be able to collect more cans and to give back to the San Antonio Food Bank. As you know, everything has gone higher. I mean, even going fast food, it's like $20 just to feed a family of 2 or 3. So I know more people are needing to go to the food bank. And so, like I said, it doesn't matter how much. The fact is that we're doing it and that we're giving back. So every tailgate, I'll be there with my trunk open, with my Brahma Mama sign, and ready to fill my trunk with food to donate to the San Antonio Food Bank.
That's awesome. And can I just say, I am truly blessed to be a part of this with you women. Let's just say that. But oh gosh. So I work with Autism Speaks. As a lot of you know, my son was diagnosed at a year and a half. Autism has been a huge part of my life, and I want to help other families that may have just found out or have been going through this for quite some time. And we had an event this last year at Wild Sun Winery and Brewing Company where we raised almost $7,000. We are almost there.
Congratulations.
For them, which is great. And then I just recently partnered with Autism Speaks as their media PR chair. So I'm really excited about this opportunity, but I'm still very happy to be here. So with all of these women, and then also do not forget, there's a flyer out also with the QR code on it for books, for the book drive. So we are collecting books for Confluence Academy School. And actually, Miss Missouri is going to be coming to the school when we present all of the books to them. We'll be collecting books throughout the rest of the season, but she will be reading a book to the children with her beautiful crown on, and it'll be really cool to see. So yeah, I'm really excited about that also. So we have a lot going on. We do a lot for the community here at Fuel, and we could not be happier to do that. And welcome everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the first all women show. We do have a special guest coming up But in the meantime, let me ask you ladies how we felt about the first, well, not the first week. We're on like week 3 games now, but going into week 4. What'd you feel about last week's game? Amber, you go ahead.
Oh man. Well, I traveled. So I mean, I'm following my Roughnecks. We did the petition and we told them if we got to keep the name, we would support them. And so we're going to every game. And yeah, with that comes along the bumps and the bruises of the loss.
Yeah, tell us about that trip though. Tell us how great that trip was. I know
The
you had
trip was
Rig with
amazing.
you and Mr. Predator, of course. How was the trip?
Yeah, Mr. Predator and Rig Rocker were with me, and we got to visit all kinds of wonderful things. Went all over DC, White House, the Capitol, Lincoln Memorial, Arlington Cemetery. As veterans, Mr. Predator and I were very touched when we got to see the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So, it really hit home with us. We went from there through Delaware and Vermont. In New Hampshire, we literally crossed the border of Maine just to have a lobster roll in Maine. We went to we went to a Fenway game. We went to Fenway in Boston, went to Red Sox, and I apparently got to be on TV, being my goofy usual self up there on the Green Monster. I was like, hey, I'm living my best extra life, people. Let's go, come on.
I know.
And as
Tell
a
me
result,
about this
got home with
flag.
them.
Tell me about the flag that you guys were able to go on the
Oh,
field
yeah.
and do. Let's hear about
Man.
that. Go ahead.
DC was amazing, guys. I got to give a huge shout out to the super fans out there. DC Defender, Doug the Defender, Biscuits and Gravy, the Lemon Guy. There's a plethora of them. I know I can't get through all of them, but you super fans made it a memorable trip. They got us wristbands, and we got to go onto the field and hold the giant flag. So it was a pretty amazing experience.
That's awesome. Now, RC, I know you have a great time
That
at
sounds
those
great.
because I've been at those tailgates. What was it like at the last tailgate for you? How crazy was it down there? Playing our Battle Hawks. How was it?
It was pretty crazy. It was crazy. So what we did was we actually had a guacamole contest. So we had 5 contestants signed up, and they were going to be judged on 4 categories: creativity, taste, color, and I can think of the other one, but there was 4 criteria. Then we had some guest judges. And again, you may or may not know from being in different parts of the country, but we have our San Antonio Munchies, and he's our foodie for here in San Antonio. So he was one of our judges. Our other judge was one of Christy Ward, and she's from the Chamber of Commerce. We had our very own new super fan, Brahma Dama, which of those who know the Hispanic culture, Loteria is very big here in San Antonio. And so she's representing the Brahmas by being the Brahma Dama. And then we had one of our OG fans, Warren. And so it was a great turnout. We actually had 3 contestants. We had Horns Forward podcast. We had Brittany Daggerty, and then we had Vanessa Dawson. And so the winner was the Horns Forward podcast, and Jackie Martinez was there. And so we had a really good time. And we also have a welcome basket for the team that's going to be coming to San Antonio. And they have different things from Texas, towels, ice cubes. So we want everyone to feel welcome when they come to our tailgates in San Antonio. And
That was one thing I gotta say. Up there in the north, no such thing as a tailgate. We all hung out at this place called Walter's Pub, which was great. It was like right across the street from Audi Field. And it was amazing experience. They had add $20 for all you can drink in 90 minutes to your brunch, so to speak. But yeah, the parking and the space is very limited in those crowded cities. So tailgating is not the same kind of experience. But I do urge everyone that came and saw me and took pictures, if you have the opportunity to come down for a Roughnecks game, feel free to reach out for our tailgate. You can come on our page on Facebook, Predator Couple. We're happy to host you.
Well, I remember in DC when Daddy Ed and I went up there, I think their definition of tailgating in DC is just literally popping the trunk and sitting in the trunk and just having a cocktail and getting pizza from across the street
Yeah.
and bringing it over. That's how their
Yeah.
tailgate is there. It's interesting.
It was
I didn't
definitely a different experience.
Yeah, I didn't see anyone drinking lemonade though, but I did see lemons flying. I will say that.
We didn't have any lemonade. There was no lemon drinks, and we didn't get a chance to visit the beer snake. Unfortunately, they do have beer snake ambassadors. So these are people that come down from those sections and collect cups from others that are passing by to go contribute to the beer snake. So I thought that was kind of interesting when I saw that. I was like, this is how it's done. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, I remember I did not see any cans there. It was like everyone had cups, and now I know why.
Yeah, they
Uh,
purposefully, when you buy a can of beer, they purposefully pour it in a cup.
So how was your experience with the fan base out there? How did all the fans make you feel out there?
Overall, it was a great experience. The super fans they live up to their name, super, super as always. The regular fans, of course, you get a few jeers, nothing outside the normal trash talk that you get with sports. And I'm okay with that. We were happy with it. We sat down in our group and told the people, hey guys, get used to taking a lot of pictures, get used to being on that Jumbotron, get used to making it work with us because this is what's going to happen. And they didn't believe it at first. And then it started happening. They're like, oh, y'all kind of are a big deal. And I was like, I wouldn't say we're a big deal. We're known.
Right.
So just make it, let's make it fun. And it was a tough loss. I was so glad when we got around halftime and when our team went down, we were right there at the gate as they were going down the stairs to show them, hey guys, we're here. And they actually looked up and enjoyed, they were like, oh my God, it really is you. So it was
Right.
amazing to see the smile on their face, and it lit a fire under their butts. It really did. And I was kind of happy about that. And not enough of a fire to put out the defenders, but that's okay. It's okay.
Well, RC, I remember when I was in San Antonio for last year for the opener, and at first it was, just the friendly banter, right? Just back and forth. Then as the game went on, that banter slowly changed to y'all deserve to win. Like it was a complete 180 for that game. But how was your fan experience when you got in the stadium, RC? How was it?
I mean, it was great. I didn't see as many fans as I thought I would see from the Battlehawks, but once you start playing, the passion comes out, right? The drinks start flowing, so things get a little bit rowdy. But it was great. It's all in good fun. I think we need more of that. And the main thing is what we want to do is we want this league to succeed, right? And we can only do that by promoting and supporting each other. We have to support each team, each fan, each super fan, because that's what it all comes down to. Here in San Antonio, and I know y'all have experienced that in Houston, that we don't want to lose a team, right? Because every time we lose a team, we lose more fans. And that's what we don't want. And the other thing that's heartbreaking to me is that the athletes that are watching are the ones from high school. Their dream is to maybe one day play with the San Antonio Brahmas, or to play with the Roughnecks, or to play with the Battlehawks. And when we fail and we start nitpicking and pointing fingers at each other, that's not going to help succeed their dreams. Like I know when I started, my husband told me, you really don't know that much about football. And I don't, and I'm not going to say that I do. But one thing I'm a good mom, and I'm a good cheerleader, and I'm passionate about that. And if I can come on this podcast and I can say some words to encourage other moms, other players to continue with their dreams, I'm going to do that. That's the least I can do. And that's why I'm so passionate about women in football, because, and it goes back down to, there are women who play football and they're good at it and they love it. But you know what happens? There's not enough football scholarships for these women. So you know what they have to do? They have to change their sport. What young man who loves football has to change their sport just to get an education? Not many. And so a couple of years ago, I connected with Jose Jefferson and his friend Adrian, and they actually have a combine in Arlington. Now, in the beginning, there was 5 universities that would offer scholarships for women for football. It was flag football, but that meant 5 universities were willing to accept females and their love and their passion for football and to get educated. How many universities can do that? Well, I can tell you 5 more the next year, and then 5 more the past year. So right now there's 15 universities that give women the opportunity to get an education and play the sport that they love. That is why
That's amazing.
because men don't do that. Men don't play football for years and then say, oh, because I'm a man, I have to change my sport. If not, I won't get education. That it's unheard of. People will be in an uproar. So 6 years ago, I know how the media is. I know how the fans are. If I came and started saying, I want women in football, no one would have paid attention to me. But in the 6 years, I have gained the respect of fans. I've gained the rapport. I've learned about football. Now I'm able to have a platform to say, you know what? We need more women in football, not only as fans, not only as coaches, not only as referees, as players. You know, this is where my passion comes in. My daughter went to school for her master's in sports management, and to be honest, she's having a hard time finding a job. If she was a man, would she? That's a
It's tough. I mean, I work in a male dominated field, subsea engineering and stuff. I mean, honestly, I do the administration behind it. I keep them all organized. It is a tough field. I was a police officer when I was in the Army. It's a male dominated field. It's a tough field, but you have to have a thick skin for it. And I know that the women that are here, as well as the women playing these sports and the women going into this field, know that they have to have the mental fortitude needed. There's a standard. You have to meet that standard. We can't dilute the standard in order to accommodate women. However, we need to understand that there are women out there that are supportive. There are women out there in multiple roles, camera women, sports management. You've got medical personnel. You've got television personnel, reporters, podcasters. I never knew I was going to do this.
Video casters.
Yeah. You've got all these behind the scenes aspects. It's not just the players. Players are important, but the team is not going to be anywhere without the support that they get.
All right, everybody. Well, on that note, let's take a quick break, and then we have a very special guest coming up. So we'll be right back. If he's listening.
Houston, we've triumphed. I've made it back to Earth with the cargo intact. The game-changing, time-sensitive payload is none other than the revolutionary energy flavor we've all been waiting for. Introducing Merc Mayhem Cherry Limeade. Merc Clan played a crucial role in securing this energy flavor, and together we've unlocked the future of power. Merc Mayhem is not just a drink, it's a statement, a fusion of relentless energy and bold flavor. The secret is out. Merc Mayhem is set to redefine the energy landscape, leaving ordinary drinks in its cosmic dust. Get ready for a taste explosion that matches Merc Clan's unparalleled power. Join the revolution, and let's unleash Merc Mayhem upon the world. Astronaut M signing off.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. So, this is, of course, none other than the A-Team with RC. We have a very special guest getting ready to come on. Her name is Madison Draggers, and I cannot wait for her to tell all of us a little bit about what she does and her experience with the UFL. without further ado, here's Madison. Bring her on. Hi, Madison. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you? Can everyone hear me?
We can
Yes.
hear you great.
Okay,
Perfectly.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. So with this being an all women show, we would love for you to kind of fill us in, like as a woman, like what's it like for you on an everyday, and kind of tell us what you do for the UFL.
Yeah, for sure. So for the UFL this season, I am player engagement and also special projects, which I joke and just say special projects is just wearing the millions of different hats that's needed for a startup. So whatever my bosses tell me to do. I will say, though, as far as the football operations stuff goes, I am the only woman in the department. So that's interesting.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm the only woman.
We have to
Love
change that. I love it, but we need to change it.
Yeah, so we
need
have
more
a
women.
lot of like women trainers and women who work in our video department. So I'm not the only woman in the league in the UFL as far as league wide goes, but I am the only woman that helps out with football operations. But I agree, I need a little more girl power.
That's right. So we're all about giving back to the community with Fuel Network, and I just saw the other day that you did and planned a big community event with the UFL. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. So, of course, being in Arlington in our one hub system, a lot of times things can get skewed when it comes to marketing and then just community service, right? Because we obviously, since we're in Arlington, the Arlington Renegades get a lot of love, and as they should, and we do appreciate that too. But, the other guys as well, sometimes they want to get in on just giving back to the community. Just because they're not in their hub cities doesn't mean that that's not where that they don't want to give back. So this past Monday, we went out to Mission Arlington, and the guys helped in the food bank and donation center. And I loved it because it was like a melting pot of teams. We had at least 6 teams out there helping out.
That's
Wow,
amazing.
That is amazing.
Nice.
So I noticed that you also were or are still a sports anchor. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience and what it was like?
Yeah, so that was what I went to college to do. So I interned all throughout college, and I just was determined to be a sports reporter and anchor. So I did that for like 3 years. And y'all may know or may not know, but whenever you're working in TV, you're on a contract. And so I quickly realized it's always basically a 2-year contract. I quickly realized I did not like that about 1 year into my contract, but I was too far in. So I had to go ahead and finish it out. But I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of some of my best friends doing that. I had a lot of great experiences, but I just decided that it wasn't for me. I wanted to do more behind the scenes things. So basically, I took my favorite parts of my job, being a reporter and anchor, as like going to games, helping out with the teams, going to press conferences, interacting with the players and coaches. And I just started looking during COVID actually at what other sports jobs were out there. That's how I kind of landed on player engagement.
Love it. Ladies, do you guys have questions for Miss Madison?
I have a question for Miss Madison. So my daughter, I don't know if you had heard backstage, but she has a master's in sports management. Now, do you know if you or anyone there within the organization offers like internships? So maybe she can get some experience working with the UFL?
Yeah, so right now, unfortunately, just because we are such an early startup, we don't have any interns. I really hope that changes for next season, because I know that each department around the UFL would love to have interns, but unfortunately, we just don't have the budget for that. I will say she could come shadow always or reach out and just get some contacts that way. And but we don't have any active internships at the moment.
Okay, well, I'll definitely let her know. Thank you.
Got it.
Of course.
Amber, you have any questions?
So with the player engagement, what is the most interesting engagement you had with a player?
Ooh, good question. Don't put me on the spot. Well, I will say the most interesting one that we have that I'm excited for. We're going to the SPCA on May 8th, and I think they're going to name some of the puppies and dogs after our players and teams. So I'm looking forward to that one.
So, Madison, I have to tell you, I did see this the other day on social that one of the players, I believe it was from Memphis, it was his birthday,
Yeah.
and you guys went out and got a balloon and got some things for him. Tell me about that. Like how, I mean, us as women, right? We like to make men feel special,
Yes.
right? So what was that like? Like making,
She's
I
like,
mean,
no, we
just
don't.
just but just seeing his face when he just saw a simple balloon and even just like, the drink and snacks you had for him. Like, I mean, what's that like? How do the
Yeah.
players react to that?
So I guess that also goes off to the question that Amber asked me. So whenever I did have an interesting one where a player's wife reached out to me because she wanted to, it was like the first game of the season, and she wanted to sneak in his favorite meal, which was spaghetti. So I had to sneak that into the locker room. So I guess that was an interesting one. And the same thing with the balloons. His girlfriend actually reached out to me and told me it was his birthday. She wasn't going to be able to do anything. So she just wanted to plan a surprise. And so I just helped them with that.
That's so cool. So a more like real question for you. Like what's it like as a woman starting, with doing sports and getting
Mhm.
into it? I mean, what challenges did you come across? What obstacles did you face with doing that? Because, us three right here can honestly say that it's challenging. So what advice do you have too? And what challenges and obstacles did you have when you first started this?
Yeah, I feel like the biggest challenge is just kind of getting that respect. I feel like when you're a man and you enter the sports world, everybody automatically assumes that, you're just kind of given respect and they assume that you know what you're doing. And I feel like when you're a woman in this industry, you kind of have to prove and go above and beyond to show that you do know what you're doing at the same level that a man does. So I would say that's kind of one of the biggest challenges. And then two, just sometimes feeling included almost. I don't know. Sometimes it can kind of feel like a little fraternity. So I would say my biggest piece of advice is just to know that you do deserve a seat at the table. You do know what you're doing, and just to try to find a sort of community and other girls who are in the same position, because there are other women that, are, like you said, have been through this or going through this. So just finding that community.
So,
Yeah,
Miss
that's
Madison, I have a question. So, growing up, did you have a particular female role model that you looked up to?
At the time, whenever I was deciding I wanted to be in sports, well, obviously my mom, just flat out, just as far as like in life. But as far as sports, I really, like I said, I wanted to be a reporter and anchor. So Erin Andrews was kind of who I looked up to the most. And she was one of the first few like females that I remember seeing on TV. So she was probably my biggest role model at the time when I was picking like what I wanted to do for a career.
Nice. Thank you for sharing.
Touche.
Yeah.
Love that. So are you able to have some fun times out there? What do you guys do out there that keeps you motivated, keeps you going?
Yeah, so my fun times, the social media girls are probably my best friends here. So we're actually having a little wine night tomorrow. So those are my girls. But yeah, whenever I usually do get downtime, which honestly isn't a lot when we're in the middle of the season, but I like to sleep. Like I'm a really sleepy gal. So I try to get in naps and lay on the couch as much as I can.
I did see you like the beach though.
I do. Yes. I've already planned an off-season vacation to the Bahamas as soon as the season's over. So I'm looking forward to that. And my mom just moved out here actually. So it's been cool getting to spend some time with her. Week 2, I actually wasn't at any games. So I went over to her house and watched them with her because I cannot miss a game. Not only do I work for the UFL, but I feel like I'm one of their biggest fans. So
yeah. So when you say you work the UFL, can you kind of give us the day in the life of Madison? Like, what does Madison do?
Whew, there's so many different things. I will say the most things that I focus on, obviously, are planning community service events. And then right now I'm looking to do something for like the players' wives and the coaches' wives to kind of give back and say thank you for all of the girls who moved out here to support. I help with ticketing, catering for the different venues. I assist marketing with some events and things that they need. Behind the scenes, even further, like player personnel assistance on Teamworks. I'm probably forgetting like 5 things, but that's what's coming to the top of my mind right now.
And Miss Madison, what do you do
Madison
off season? Like when there's not games, what do you do? What would your job be?
Off season, well, this past off season, it was a little different because, they announced the merge and we didn't know we were going to have a job or not. So I kind of just had anxiety every single day of the off season. No, but we still will have meetings and check-ins and do some off-season planning and things like that for, season 2 of the UFL. But I take that time to really spend time with my family and friends because during the season I don't get to see them much. And I also take that time to just relax. But just a lot of planning for season 2.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
So then it goes without saying, now that you're on week 3 of the official season, right? You've kind of created a fraternity, so to speak, being the only female in an all-male cast in your position with UFL. So does it feel like a fraternity yet? Like a big group of big brothers all over that are taking care of you and protecting you? Or are you really having to pull as much of your own weight as they say you are?
No, I will say I really have the best group, and I've been blessed, honestly, with the past, because I know it's not this way for every girl, but I've been blessed the past 2 seasons with the USFL and this season of the UFL. I really have like the best group of guys ever. They're like my brothers, honestly. They're like my family, and I've had no issues with them. They've always treated me with respect, always offered to help out, always been super kind. So I can't say enough things about them. They've been absolutely amazing and very, very, very supportive.
I can honestly say that I'm looking forward to maybe some pranks between you guys that could possibly be promoted on some of the social media. Jagger's hijinks would be a nice little fun bit.
I'll have to consider that. That's actually a really good idea. I love messing with them, so I'll have to keep that in mind.
We love whoopee cushions. We love anything
Oh,
that
all
makes,
over.
Noises. and
Any
good
kind of
laughs.
noise.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
we know the
social
boys
media
love
girls.
noises.
Yeah, they did a fart machine video with, I think it was the Birmingham
nice.
Stallions. That was the April Fools. They did a fart video, and then they did one where they put cockroaches in like the players' Gatorades. So they
Oh.
on Instagram, but they were fake
Oh, no.
cockroaches. So yes,
I
Amber,
hate
you would
those
love
too. I
that.
hate them.
Yes, it was hilarious.
Fake. I
I love
cannot
it.
be real.
I
So, Miss
love it.
Madison, what's your favorite football movie?
Ooh, I honestly am not a big movie person, so this sounds so sad. I can't even think of a football movie that's coming to mind. That's so bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not
That's
a big
okay.
movie
That's
person.
okay. We're just trying to get to know you.
I know.
Okay, so let's do this. What do you like to drink? Like, what do you drink during the day? What do you drink?
I have it right here. I always keep this because it's so hot here in Texas and so humid. So I always try to chug water, but not water. I have to have a coffee every day. Like, I don't care if I haven't had one at 6 p.m. Like, I have to have at least 1 cup of coffee every single day. And then at night, I like Olipop and Poppies. I don't know, and kombucha. So those are like my 3 in rotation. I have to
I
have at least
haven't
one of
tried
those every
those.
day.
I'll have to try
The
those.
Lollipops?
They're so good. Yeah, Olipops and
Ollipops.
Poppies. Yeah, they're so good. It's like a healthy soda. It has like probiotics and stuff like that,
Oh, maybe that's why I don't know about them because it's
But
you said healthy.
they're flavored like Coca-Cola, strawberry vanilla, cherry cola. Like, they're really good. So y'all need to try those for sure.
Not bad.
You
Love
lost me
it.
at healthy.
Love
Maybe
it.
since I work for the UFL, I'll plug in. I like Zoa 2 and some Terramana,
Of course.
See, she knows her marketing
Yeah.
tools. She knows her marketing tools. I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on, ladies. Do you have any other questions for?
Who's your favorite football player so far in the UFL? Are
My
you allowed to say that?
I cannot even say. I will say this is how I pick my favorites. My favorite guys are the ones who get their ticket request in on time and not an hour before kickoff, and the players who sign up for community service.
There you go.
So if you do those 2 things, you're probably up in my favorites. If you wait until an hour before kick, or if you never sign up for anything and you complain a lot, those are probably that's how you'll go down my list.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
So-
rightfully so. Rightfully so.
So any players that are watching at this moment, watching Madison Jaggers, make sure you please get your requests in or your papers into her on time
Yes,
if you want to hit that list.
exactly.
Well, Madison, thank you so much for coming on our very first all-women show.
Thank
so
you.
good.
I was nervous. I know I used to be an anchor, but this is out of my comfort zone. So
Your
You're
comfort
welcome on
zone.
the show anytime you are so welcome on. So thank you so much, and we really appreciate you, and keep doing the amazing work you're doing, and keep
Thank
posting those
you.
TikToks because I love them.
Thank you
Much
for having
love
me.
and respect. Much
You're
love.
Bye,
so
y'all.
welcome. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She was super
Oh, is she not
amazing.
amazing?
Yes.
She's so amazing. Yeah. she's so
Absolutely.
great.
I absolutely loved it.
I
Yep.
love the fact that they're doing something for the coaches and their wives or spouses. I think that that is awesome because think about it, all these weeks they're not able to see their partners unless there's a game. And
Yeah.
it's just really cool. And then the fact that the player's wife reached out and asked her if she would get him dinner like that, and she
Sneaking
did.
some
How amazing
spaghetti.
is that? So UFL,
Yeah.
she needs a raise. She needs a raise.
That's
Anyway,
true. Well,
There
Amber,
was some
earlier
meatballs in that spaghetti.
Amber, you had said earlier that you were in the Army. And so, one, I wanted to thank you for your service. And number two, I think a couple of days ago, hopefully I'm correct, it was like National Military Child Day. So what they're doing with the wives and the families kind of reminds me of celebrating that day. Because here in San Antonio, it's a very military town.
Yeah.
And even in schools, a lot of the staff, I work at a public school, wore purple in honor of the military child because they go through a lot and the wives do too. So the fact that the UFL is actually acknowledging that really, kudos to them. It means a lot. So again, thank you, Amber,
Yeah.
for your service.
Well, thank
Yes,
you for the
thank
support.
you.
And I'm very much a huge advocate of a lot of veteran programs. I tell everyone, no matter what you do, no matter what you donate to, make sure you do research on it. With that being said, Mrs. Predator is officially endorsing Warrior Wishes. And so what they do, it's a happy little organization. And I'm working with Craig, who's a member of Warrior Wishes. Hello, Craig. Hopefully you get this. I'm plugging you for a minute. Our tailgate here at Houston is going to be hosting 10 veterans and their families for our next upcoming home game this weekend. And we're looking forward to meeting them. We got to meet Jody and his family last home game. And so we're trying to put the word out there with UFL that, yeah, we're not only a sports group, we're also an awesome community staple, and we want to make sure that our veterans get recognized as well. So if you are a veteran and you would like to get in touch with Warrior Wishes, because we're not the only group that they work with, you can message me. I'm happy to connect you with them. Or, another way to get some awesome tickets as a veteran, you should know this, VetTix.
Yep.
Okay, so be sure to grab some VetTix. And you can get them more than just a pair, so you and a few friends can go.
Love it.
Oh yeah, got that. That's right.
Great
We got that too.
information.
And Amber, thanks so much for doing that too, because I have veterans in my family as well. So thank you so much for your service.
Oh no, thank
It
you for
truly
the
means a
support.
lot. Yeah.
It's support from you guys that make it worthwhile. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
Female
All right.
veterans rarely get recognized. It's amazing how fast I'm wearing the exact same hat my husband wears, veteran, big block letters, right? And everyone goes directly, thank you for your service, sir. I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I, chopped liver? I'm arm candy? What the hell? I did it too.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
assumptions can always get you in trouble. They probably just assume that you're the wife. And even then, even if you were just the wife, they should recognize you for your service because that is a sacrifice, having a spouse in the military.
It is. It is.
All right, guys. On that note, we are going to take a brief break. And when we come back, we are going to do our picks.
Same great taste. Yes, same great taste. Same great taste.
All right.
Welcome
back,
back.
everybody. All right. So, and of course, welcome back to the A Team with RC, which is right down. We got to plug everybody. Who is this right here?
I changed my hair, so
Amber. and with RC. So it's the A team with RC. So what we're gonna do right now, ladies, is we're gonna do our picks for week 4. You guys ready for it?
You're killing me,
I'm
small.
I'm gonna write this down. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
All right. So first game up, ladies, we got St. Louis versus Memphis. Who do we got? And watch what you say.
I'm going with the Battlehawks on this one.
No.
I mean, I feel like the showboats were no shows.
Tugboat.
And I mean, I call it what it is, but it seems like the Battlehawks are kind of crushing it right now. So I'm gonna stick with it.
Let's not get too excited because we don't want to jinx them now. All right, RC, who you
I
got?
want to jinx them.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Battlehawks also. I have my soft spot for Jared Jones-Smith. I've known him and his mom for the last 6 years since the Commanders. And so I'm going to go with the Battlehawks, and cheers to Jared.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, JJ's a great guy. Well, I must say we all know who I'm going for.
That's a no-brainer.
Memphis. No, I'm playing. Battlehawks, of course.
Of course.
All right. Next up is DC versus the Stallions. Who we got?
Stallions.
You
They're
took too long
undefeated.
to answer. You took way too long to answer that question.
They're undefeated.
Well,
What do you want me to do?
Listen.
It's a
This is what
no-brainer.
I
It's
say
a no-brainer.
every
That
single
one is
week,
another
though.
no-brainer.
It only takes one. It only
Yeah, you're
takes
right.
one game. For instance, Houston last year, Amber,
Yeah.
they played undefeated, and then all of a sudden, I believe it was week 4, it just flips. And that was when Kirkland went down with y'all's team last season.
Yeah.
And then it went to
And before that,
we
we were undefeated and COVID took us out.
yeah.
So, I mean, it does flip in 1 week, but between the Stallions, I'm sorry, I'm gonna give it up to the Bronies.
Yeah, they are good. All right, RC, who you got?
Stallions.
As much as
I mean, it's a
pains
no-brainer.
me.
They're on a roll right now.
I know.
They're hot.
I'm going with Stallions too. And y'all have to understand. I have to beat you guys. The reason why I'm saying
Well, there you
that
go.
is because of Spurge. Like he likes to come on his show and always say 11-1, 11-1, whatever. I like to have stuff in my favor too. Okay, so next game up is the Panthers versus the Brahmas. Mm-hmm. Let's keep in mind.
I will say this. Of course, I have to go with the Brahmas. However, and this is a point that us ladies were talking about before we got on air, injuries. Injuries are playing a big factor, especially with.
No, I get what you're saying, RC. I understand that.
So
but I mean, if you're gonna,
even though with those injuries and those 2 new players coming on,
but that's what I mean. I mean, the Panthers are healthy. I'm saying the Panthers. I'm going to go with Michigan on this one. I saw them this past week. They're healthy. No hurts. I don't see any ill will in. I mean, there's some soft spots that need to be tightened up, but in the long run, between the Brahmas and the Panthers, I'm going with the Panthers.
See,
so I guess are we gonna put a bet on this?
Well, I'm stuck.
I was going to say, Amber, you want to put a bet on this?
Yeah. Oh no! Look, you two. Okay, so I'm stuck because Bates has pulled it out for the Panthers for the last 2 weeks. So, oh man.
And look at what the Brahmas did. Field goal. Now they don't have a field goal kicker.
Kirkland was there last
Well, we have
week,
the
but
new
he
guy who's like
wasn't really
6'5", And we have a good punter. We have a good punter. I will say I did interview his mom all the way from Australia with our mom to mom interview. She is coming to this game. And that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to is making that connection with Brad Wing's mom.
Well, I'm glad that she's coming all the way from down under. I just don't think the Brahmas are going to beat the Panthers.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
All right. You got to tell me what bet we're throwing on this.
Okay. We could either do something like, if the Brahmas win, maybe you send 10 cans for the food drive. And if the Brahmas lose, I'll send you something for the military wishes.
All right.
I like that.
Because it's a win-win.
Sounds good to me. Not like the typical guy bet of money or push-ups.
And how about I'll do for both? I'll do for both of you because I'm not siding with one or the other of you.
Oh no, you got to pick a side here, honey.
You gotta pick a side, girl. You gotta pick a side. No.
Listen,
you're not neutral land over here. No.
You're not Switzerland.
Yeah, you're not.
Okay, let's see.
Just because you're blonde.
Listen. You guys are
Listen, Linda. Linda.
Listen, I'm going with the Panthers. The reason I'm going with the Panthers is because Wade Phillips is an inconsistent coach. Next group is going to be the Renegades.
That's from the Dallas Cowboys.
Now, Renegades and Roughnecks, both of them dead last in each conference with a big old goose egg in the win department. That being said, I'm gonna stick with it. Mrs. Predator for a reason.
Oh. Okay. All right.
So yeah, go ahead. Throw some renegades on me. Let's see.
Just to be difficult, I'm gonna go with the Renegades.
Yeah, you would.
I know.
Is that another 10 cans?
Another 10 cans there. Another 10 cans, baby. I'm up to 20 cans.
I ain't mad at it, honey.
Well, double or nothing. How about that?
There you go.
I heard somebody laughing in the other room at you two. Anyway, golly. I'm gonna have to go with Amber. I apologize. I'm gonna have to go with the Renegades. I'm gonna have to. I can't do it. I still love you.
Look. I'm gonna have to meet you in person. You know this, right?
Yes, I know, but that's a few weeks from now, so I'm not worried about it.
Uh-huh.
But, all right, on that note, everybody, we have a little segment called Sports Couple Therapy Moment, and that's going to be brought to you by none other than Amber. So, Amber, go ahead. Take it away, my dear.
All right. So, as you all know, ladies, one of the biggest reasons you don't get involved in football is because your husband's sitting there yelling at the TV, chips spewing out of his mouth, crutching, high-fiving his buddies or whatever, and you're trying to ask questions. And they're looking at you going, no, not right now. Not right now. You're annoying me. Go away, right? I'm here. I'm your therapist for the day. And as a therapist, I'm going to start teaching you guys some terms that you all can use while you're watching the wonderful sport of football. And guess what? Your guys aren't going to know the origins of it. Are y'all ready for this? Gridiron. Throw up what a gridiron is. Show them. That's a gridiron, guys. And guess what? It was originally used as a cooking utensil over a campfire or a wood flame stove to cook various meals on. Now, can you understand why the football field is also called a gridiron? The lines across representing every 10-yard line that goes down a football field. That is where the term came from, guys. Ladies, we had it first. And now, if you use the term gridiron, you can look at your husband and go, It was mine first. But I'm glad you
I
get
like
to use it. I'll be happy to share.
Well, on that note, everybody, you are welcome. And this is the first episode of A Team with RC Woods. We will be back next Wednesday at 7 o'clock Central Time with,
We're doing this again?
oh yeah, next week, 7 o'clock, with none other than Miss, that's your cue, RC. With RC
with
Woods.
me. RC Woods.
Yeah, with you.
me? Okay.
We'll be
Am I
back
supposed to
with
say
this
something?
one down here next Wednesday.
With
Mrs.
20
Predator.
cans of food. 20 cans of food.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
That'll be the big thing next week, you guys, will be the rivalry between these two. Oh, not me. I mean, these two. Well, I can't do it. Anyway, whoever. These
thanks,
two.
guys. I appreciate you.
Leave me alone!